What if the world you see right now, the one you perceive with your own eyes and interpret with your own mind, isn't the world as it really is? What if the colors, the sounds, the very fabric of your experience are not objective truths, but rather elaborate constructions of your own consciousness? Think about your smartphone. It's a powerful device capable of connecting you to information, entertainment, and other people across the globe. But every app, every interaction, everything you see on that screen is filtered and presented to you by its operating system. iOS, Android, they dictate the interface, the gestures, the very way you interact with the digital world. You don't directly touch the raw data, you interact with it through a programmed lens. Now, imagine your mind is that operating system. Not just a passive receiver, but an active, complex system that processes, organizes, and even creates the reality you experience. The apps of reality, your moral judgments, your understanding of good and evil, your sense of justice, your perception of beauty, they don't just exist out there for you to observe. They are profoundly shaped, perhaps even fundamentally built by the unique software running inside your skull. This isn't just a philosophical thought experiment. It's a radical idea that transforms how we understand ourselves and our place in the world. And in this series, we're going to embark on a journey to explore precisely how our minds build our reality, and in particular, how they construct the very foundations of our moral and ethical landscape. This profound questioning of reality itself finds its roots in a philosophical shift that began over 2 centuries ago. Our specific guide for this mind-bending exploration, however, will be a book penned over 130 years ago by a fiercely brilliant, often misunderstood German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche on the genealogy of morality. Though written in the late 19th century, its insights into the origins and evolution of our most deeply held beliefs are astonishingly relevant today, acting as a kind of ancient source code for our modern moral operating system. And it was indeed around 240 years ago that another German philosopher, Immanuel Kant, performed nothing less than a Copernican revolution in philosophy. He wasn't content asking what we know. He dared to ask how we know what we know. Kant was the first to profoundly articulate that our minds aren't just empty vessels waiting to be filled by the world. Instead, he argued, our minds actively impose structure on our experience, shaping the raw sensory data into the coherent, understandable world we perceive. He essentially showed us the first architectural blueprints of our mental operating system, challenging the very bedrock of human consciousness and laying the groundwork for anyone who dared to question reality itself. So, before you confidently navigate your day, before you trust the judgments you make, the values you uphold, or even the very reality you inhabit, consider this: what if everything you believe to be true, everything you hold dear, is merely a product of the internal software running your mind? And what if that software has a history, a development, a genealogy that, once understood, changes everything? Prepare to look at your own mind and the world it creates in a way you never have before. Have you ever felt so certain about something, absolutely convinced your perception was the unvarnished truth, only to have that certainty utterly shattered? I certainly have. Not too long ago, I found myself in the midst of a truly spectacular misunderstanding. It wasn't just a minor miscommunication, it was a fundamental misinterpretation of someone's intentions. So profound it made me question everything I thought I knew about my own judgment, my own lens on reality. It was a wake-up call, a stark realization that my objective reality was, in fact, a deeply subjective construct shaped by invisible forces I barely understood. It was in that moment of profound self-doubt that I started searching for answers, trying to decipher the unwritten code that governs how we perceive, how we judge, and ultimately, how we live. And that search, my friends, led me straight into the intimidating, often misunderstood world of Friedrich Nietzsche, specifically to his monumental work on the genealogy of morality. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Nietzsche, that dense, dark, impenetrable philosopher whose books are usually reserved for dusty university libraries and earnest academics. Yes, asterisk Nietzsche. And I get it. The very mention of his name can conjure images of complex, labyrinthine prose and concepts that seem utterly divorced from our everyday lives. But here's the secret, the reframe I want us to embrace from the very beginning. This isn't just an academic text. Think of the Genealogy of Morality not as a philosophical tome, but as something far more vital, far more personal. It's a sophisticated, incredibly insightful user manual for the human mind itself. It's a guide to understanding the operating system that shapes our values, our judgments, our very sense of right and wrong. Our goal here isn't to become philosophy professors armed with obscure jargon and ready to debate the finer points of transcendental idealism. No, our aim is far more practical, far more revolutionary in its simplicity. We're here to steal, to appropriate one of Immanuel Kant's single most powerful and enduring ideas, an idea that, once grasped, can fundamentally alter your perception of reality, the profound importance of understanding the rules of our own thinking. Nietzsche, in his own way, delves deep into these rules, showing us not just what we think, but why we think it, where our moral compass truly originates. We're going to peel back the layers of culturally inherited assumptions to see the levers and pulleys that construct our internal world, to understand our own matrix of the mind. So, how are we going to do this? We'll start by digging into the very concept of morality itself, tracing its surprising origins through Nietzsche's eyes. Then we'll move into the fascinating and often uncomfortable exploration of guilt and bad conscience, discovering how these powerful forces came to be. Finally, we'll confront the provocative idea of ascetic ideals, revealing how they've shaped our spiritual and intellectual landscape. Each step of the way, we'll connect these ancient philosophical insights back to our modern lives, to the dilemmas we face, and the judgments we make every single day. By the end of this journey, my hope is that you won't just know more about Nietzsche. You'll know more about yourself, about the matrix of the mind you inhabit, and about the surprising freedom that comes from understanding its code. Welcome to the Philosophical Toolkit, a series designed to equip you with the essential concepts needed to truly grapple with profound and often challenging thinkers like Friedrich Nietzsche. Before we plunge into the intricate world of the genealogy of morals, which often critiques the very foundations of human values, we need to lay a crucial groundwork. Our first stop, Chapter 1, The Mind's Default Setting Space and Time, introduces an idea so revolutionary, it fundamentally reshaped philosophy and our understanding of reality itself. It comes from the formidable 18th century German philosopher Immanuel Kant, and it's a concept that, while initially counterintuitive, will illuminate much of what follows. We commonly perceive space and time as objective, external containers in which everything exists. We imagine time ticking on, universally and independently of us, and space extending infinitely, whether we're here to observe it or not. This is our everyday common sense view. But Kant, in a stroke of philosophical genius, challenged this deeply ingrained assumption. He proposed that space and time are not external realities, but rather fundamental structures of our own mind, essential innate frameworks, or what he termed pure intuitions, through which we actively perceive and make sense of everything. Think of it this way: space and time are like mandatory, pre-installed goggles we are born wearing. They are not an accessory we choose to put on. They are an inherent, inescapable part of our perceptual apparatus, built right into our very being. Every single piece of information our senses gather, every sight, every sound, every touch, taste, or smell must pass through these innate lenses. We literally cannot experience anything without them. They are the conditions for any experience to even be possible for us. To use a more modern analogy, imagine your mind is like a highly sophisticated computer, but one with a very specific, foundational operating system. Every piece of sensory input you receive, every datum from the world, is like a file your mind attempts to process and store. But this computer, this mental architecture, has fundamental, pre-programmed requirements. It can only save a file if it gives it a location that's space. And it can only save it if it gives it a timestamp that's time. Without these default categories, these innate spatial and temporal parameters, the file simply cannot be processed, organized, or understood by our system. It's not that the computer chooses to add a location and timestamp, it's that its operating system fundamentally requires them for any incoming data to be recognized as valid, coherent information. The implication of this Kantian insight is profound and, frankly, a little mind-bending. We can never experience anything outside of space and time. We can never truly know the world as it is in itself, independent of our mind's structuring capabilities. All we ever encounter, all that we can ever call reality from our perspective, is the world as it appears to us intrinsically conditioned and shaped by these innate mental filters. This doesn't mean reality isn't out there, it simply means our access to it is always, necessarily, mediated and constructed by our own mind's architecture. And this isn't just an abstract philosophical concept confined to dusty academic tomes. It deeply permeates and explains our daily existence. Think about how instinctively we organize our lives. We meticulously plan our days with schedules, marking before and after events, prioritizing past commitments and future appointments. That's time. We navigate our environment, giving directions based on here and there, describing objects with precise physical dimensions, shapes, and positions. That space. We recall memories in a chronological sequence, locate ourselves on maps, and understand cause and effect as unfolding through duration. This isn't merely a cultural convention or a learned habit, it's a profound reflection of the very software our minds run on, the fundamental default settings that shape our entire experience and comprehension of reality. Understanding this foundational Kantian insight, that our minds actively construct the space and time we inhabit is the first critical step in understanding how human beings build their world, their knowledge, and their values. And it's precisely into these human constructions and their often hidden genealogies that a thinker like Nietzsche will later delve with such penetrating intensity. Welcome back. In our last chapter, we laid the groundwork for understanding Nietzsche's radical insights into morality. Now, before we fully dive into the genealogy of morals we need to take a crucial detour, a philosophical pit stop, if you will, to understand a very particular idea that profoundly influenced German thought, and indeed, our modern understanding of how we perceive the world. This brings us to Chapter 2, the mental Lego blocks that build your world. Our journey here takes us to Immanuel Kant, a towering figure in philosophy who, roughly a century before Nietzsche, reshaped how thinkers understood knowledge, reality, and the human mind. Kant's big revelation, simplified for our purposes, was this: we don't just passively receive information from the world. Our minds are active participants in constructing the reality we experience. He proposed what he called categories of understanding. Now, that sounds rather academic, so let's strip away the jargon. Think of these categories as innate mental software running in the background of your consciousness, or perhaps conceptual cookie cutters. They're not things we learn, they're built-in structures, preloaded programs that our minds use to organize the chaotic, raw sensory data constantly bombarding us. Without them, the world would be an unintelligible blur. Instead, these mental tools like causality, the idea that if A, then B, unity, and even reality itself, take that raw data and sculpt it into the coherent, structured world we live in. Let's zero in on one of the most powerful of these cookie cutters, causality. This is the idea that every event has a cause, that one thing leads to another. It feels utterly obvious, doesn't it? Like a fundamental truth of the universe. But here's Kant's profound insight: we don't actually see cause and effect in the external world. What we see are sequences of events. Our mind, however, imposes the narrative of cause and effect onto those sequences. Imagine a glass on a table. It slips, falls, and shatters on the floor. What did you just witness? You saw the glass moving downwards. You saw it hit the floor. You saw pieces flying outwards. These are distinct sensory observations. Yet your mind didn't just register glass moving, floor appearing, pieces scattering. Instantly, automatically, and unconsciously, your mind constructed a story. The glass fell, causing it to shatter. You didn't see the causing itself. Your mind applied the category of causality to link the fall and the shattering into a meaningful, coherent event. The cause isn't out there in the world, waiting to be observed. It's a conceptual bridge our mind builds. This is a crucial point, often overlooked, but absolutely vital for understanding Nietzsche. It means we are not merely passive observers, receptors soaking up a pre-made reality. No, we are active company creators of our experienced reality. Our minds don't just reflect the world, they actively organize, interpret, and shape it through these inherent mental structures. The world as we know it, with its causes and effects, its unity, its stable objects, is, in a very real sense, a product of our interaction with it, filtered and structured by these innate mental Lego blocks. We perceive order not because the raw data inherently possesses it in that form, but because our minds impose that order using these fundamental categories. This Kantian understanding, that our minds actively construct reality, sets the stage beautifully for Nietzsche. If our minds impose structure, if they build narratives even at the most fundamental level of perception, what implications does that have for something as complex and seemingly objective as morality? Could morality, too, be a form of imposition, a sophisticated narrative woven by human minds, rather than an eternal, objective truth waiting to be discovered? Welcome back. In this chapter, The Two Worlds, we embark on a crucial philosophical detour that will illuminate the very foundations of Nietzsche's thought in The Genealogy of Morals. We're going to dive into a distinction pioneered by the philosopher Immanuel Kant between your reality and the real reality. This isn't just an abstract philosophical puzzle, it's a profound reorientation of how we understand truth, knowledge, and even ourselves. To truly grasp the radical nature of Nietzsche's genealogical project, we must first understand Kant's revolutionary insight into the limits of human knowledge. Kant introduced a distinction between two realms, the phenomenal world and the noumenal world. Let's start with the phenomenal world. This is the world as it appears to us, the world we experience directly. It's not just out there waiting to be passively absorbed, it's actively constructed by our minds. Think of your mind as a highly sophisticated operating system, equipped with built-in programs and filters. Everything we perceive, every sight, sound, touch, and thought is processed through these inherent structures, primarily space and time, and what Kant called the categories of understanding, concepts like causality, unity, and existence. So when you look at a tree, you're not seeing the tree in itself, you're seeing the tree as it is filtered and organized by your mind's inherent architecture. It's the only world we can possibly know through science, through our senses, through our intellect. All our empirical knowledge, all our understanding of cause and effect, laws of nature, and moral principles operate strictly within this phenomenal realm. This is your reality. Then there's the noumenal world. This is the thing in itself, the world as it might be, independent of our perception, beyond the reach of our mental operating system. It's the ultimate reality, the true nature of things, unconditioned by human subjectivity. And here's the crucial part. According to Kant, the noumenal world is forever inaccessible to our direct knowledge. We can never perceive it, never understand it, never experience it. It's not something we can ever grasp scientifically or rationally. We can only infer its existence as the source of what appears to us, but its true form remains a mystery, a concept marking the boundary of human understanding. This is the real reality, as far as it can be conceived, yet forever beyond our grasp. To make this distinction more concrete, consider a simple analogy. Imagine a dog. Dogs perceive the world differently from us. Their sense of smell is incomparably sharper, giving them access to an entire dimension of information we largely miss. Conversely, their color vision is limited compared to ours. They see a more muted palette, often described as shades of blue and yellow, rather than our full spectrum of reds, greens, and vibrant hues. For a dog, its phenomenal world, the world as it experiences, it is rich in sense, but relatively monochrome in color. It cannot conceive of the rich reds and greens we see, because its perceptual apparatus simply isn't built for it. The real colors, the real electromagnetic wavelengths that stimulate our eyes exist, but they are noumenal to the dog. In the same way, we humans, with our own magnificent yet limited perceptual and cognitive apparatus, experience our unique phenomenal world. There might be countless dimensions, senses, or ways of understanding reality that are simply beyond our capacity to perceive or process. Just as the dog is limited by its biology, we are limited by our human minds. What if our fundamental concepts of space, time, or causality are merely human constructs, essential for navigating our phenomenal world, but utterly inapplicable to the noumenal world? This realization for Kant isn't a cause for despair, but rather for a profound sense of humility. It forces us to acknowledge the inherent, inescapable limits of human knowledge. It means that while we can build incredibly sophisticated scientific models and develop profound ethical systems within our phenomenal world, we can never claim to know reality as it truly is independent of our minds. We can't step outside our own consciousness to get an objective, God's eye view of the universe. Our knowledge is always, necessarily, human knowledge. This humility doesn't diminish our capacity for understanding, it refines it. It shifts the focus from trying to know the unknowable thing in itself to understanding the structure of our own minds and the conditions under which we can know anything at all. And it's precisely this shift, this radical re-evaluation of what constitutes truth and reality, that opens the door to Nietzsche's project. If our deepest understanding of reality is fundamentally shaped by our human perspective, what then of our moral truths? Are they also phenomenal constructs, products of our psychological and historical evolution, rather than reflections of some ultimate, noumenal moral law? This is the crucial question that Kant's philosophy sets the stage for, and one that Nietzsche will eagerly explore. Welcome to Chapter 4, When Your Brain Tries to Know It All. Our journey through the foundations of morality, as explored by Nietzsche, often requires us to understand the intellectual landscape he inherited and critiqued. And few figures loom larger in that landscape than Immanuel Kant. Today, we're taking a brief detour into a specific problem Kant identified, one that profoundly impacts how we understand the limits of human reason. Have you ever found yourself pondering the really big questions? Not just what you'll have for dinner, but the fundamental inquiries that seem to lie at the heart of existence itself. Questions like, did the universe have a beginning? Or has it always been? Or is everything predetermined by a grand cosmic plan? Or do we truly possess free will? These aren't just idle musings. They are the colossal questions our intellect, our very faculty of reason, seems almost compelled to ask. Our brain, in its relentless pursuit of understanding, wants to grasp the entirety, the absolute truth about the universe and our place within it. But here's where Kant introduced a fascinating and rather humbling dilemma, what he termed the antinomies of pure reason. An antinomy is essentially a logical contradiction, a situation where reason, using its own consistent rules, can construct equally compelling and logically sound arguments for two opposite sides of a fundamental question. It's like watching two master debaters, both brilliant, both impeccably logical, argue for thesis and antithesis, and realizing that both arguments seem entirely valid, yet they cannot both be true. This creates a logical stalemate, a dead end for pure reason. Let's take a closer look at one of the most famous antinomies, the question of the universe's beginning. On one side, you can logically argue that the universe must have a beginning. Consider this: if the universe had no beginning, then an infinite series of events must have unfolded before this moment. But an actual, completed infinity is a contradiction in terms. You can never complete an infinite series. Therefore, to avoid this absurdity, the universe must have had a beginning in time, and space must be similarly limited. Pure reason seems to compel us to accept a finite universe with a temporal origin. Yet, turn the argument around, and pure reason offers an equally convincing case for the opposite, that the universe cannot have a beginning. If the universe had a beginning, what preceded it? Empty time. And how could anything, any event, any reality arise from absolute nothingness without a preceding cause? The idea of something spontaneously appearing from nothing feels just as contradictory to our rational mind as an infinite past. So, logic seems to demand that the universe must be infinite and without a beginning. We are left with two perfectly reasoned, yet diametrically opposed, conclusions. Our brain tries to know it all, but it ends up tying itself in knots. So, what was Kant's solution to these bewildering contradictions? He didn't see them as a flaw in the universe, but rather as a critical insight into the limits of our own reason. Kant distinguished between two realms, the phenomenal world and the noumenal world. The phenomenal world is the world of our experience, the world as it appears to us, shaped by our senses and our categories of understanding, like space, time, and causality. This is the world our reason is designed to navigate and comprehend. The noumenal world, however, is the thing in itself, the world as it exists independently of our perception. It's the realm beyond our experience, beyond the reach of our senses and our cognitive frameworks. According to Kant, when our reason attempts to answer questions about the universe's absolute beginning or ultimate causality, it's trespassing. It's trying to apply categories like cause or beginning categories that are only valid within the phenomenal world of our experience to the noumenal realm, a realm where they simply don't apply. It's like trying to measure the temperature of a sound wave with a ruler. The tool is simply inappropriate for the task. Therefore, for Kant, these questions aren't unanswerable because the truth is unknowable, but because they are fundamentally unanswerable by our kind of reason . They are about concepts beyond the limits of our possible experience. Our brain wants to know it all, to grasp the absolute, but it hits a wall built by its own inherent structure. Understanding this limitation is crucial, as it sets the stage for many of Nietzsche's later critiques, particularly regarding our claims to objective knowledge about morality and truth. Kant showed us where reason ends. Nietzsche, in his own way, will show us what happens when we try to push beyond those boundaries anyway. Welcome back. We've been exploring the complex tapestry of moral philosophy, and as we delve into Chapter 5, we encounter a crucial turn, one deeply influenced by the monumental work of Immanuel Kant. This section, provocatively titled "Why You Can't Prove God, Freedom, or the Soul," isn't about discrediting these profound concepts, but rather understanding why our attempts to establish their existence through pure, unadulterated logic are ultimately doomed to fail. Kant, in his groundbreaking critique, essentially argued that traditional philosophy had made a fundamental error. It attempted to apply the same rules of understanding that govern our experience of the empirical world, the world of objects, cause and effect, things we can perceive and measure, to concepts that lie entirely beyond that realm. he drew a sharp distinction between what he called phenomena and noumena. Phenomena are the world asterisk as it appears to us asterisk, structured by our senses and understanding. This is the domain of science where we can establish facts, make predictions, and apply logical proofs. Noumena, on the other hand, are the asterisk things in themselves asterisk, the world as it truly is, independent of our perception. These are concepts that our intellect can conceive of, but can never directly experience or prove through theoretical reason. It's into this noumenal category that Kant placed God, freedom, and the immortal soul. Let's start with God. For centuries, brilliant minds had grappled with philosophical arguments to prove God's existence, ontological arguments, cosmological arguments, teleological arguments. Kant meticulously dismantled each of them, not because he was an atheist, but because he believed these arguments fundamentally overstepped the bounds of theoretical reason. Our understanding is inherently limited to phenomena. God, by definition, is a transcendent being, not an object in space and time that we can perceive or subject to empirical verification. Therefore, any attempt to prove or disprove God's existence using theoretical reason, the very tools we use for science, is akin to trying to weigh a thought. It's the wrong tool for the job. Kant wasn't denying God, he was elevating God beyond the reach of scientific proof, placing belief in the realm of faith. Similarly, consider the concept of freedom, particularly free will. From a purely deterministic, phenomenal perspective, every action could be seen as the result of a chain of causes and effects stretching back infinitely. If we were to apply the scientific method strictly, it would be incredibly difficult to locate or prove free will as an observable phenomenon. Yet, Kant argued, for morality to have any meaning whatsoever, we must act as if we are free. If our choices were entirely predetermined, if we lacked genuine agency, then concepts like moral responsibility, praise, blame, duty, and even the very idea of making a right or wrong decision would simply evaporate. Freedom, therefore, becomes a postulate of practical reason. We can't prove it with theoretical reason, but we must assume it for morality to function. It's a necessary condition for our moral experience, something we choose to believe and act upon, not something we can demonstrate in a laboratory. The soul, or the self as an enduring, unified, and possibly immortal entity, falls into the same category. We experience our thoughts, feelings, and actions as phenomenal manifestations, but the underlying thing in itself of the soul, the core essence, remains elusive to our theoretical grasp. We can never directly perceive or prove this noumenal self, we only ever encounter its appearances. What Kant effectively did, then, was to reframe the entire debate. He didn't solve these metaphysical problems in the traditional sense, he carved out separate, non-competing domains. Science, empirical inquiry, and theoretical reason would govern the world of phenomena, the realm of is. Faith, morality, and practical reason would govern the noumenal world, the realm of ought. By doing so, he created a truce, a fragile peace between the burgeoning scientific worldview and the enduring human need for meaning, ethics, and spiritual belief. He saved faith from the onslaught of reason by placing it beyond reason's reach, and in doing so, he profoundly shaped the philosophical landscape that Nietzsche himself would inherit and eventually dramatically challenge. This separation, this neat division, is a crucial background to understanding Nietzsche's later critiques of morality's foundations. Welcome to Chapter 6, where we explore what I call the Copernican revolution in your head. Now, that might sound dramatic, but trust me, it's an apt description for one of the most profound intellectual shifts in human history, spearheaded by the philosopher Immanuel Kant. To truly grasp Nietzsche's radical project, we first need to understand the groundbreaking achievement of Kant, because Nietzsche builds upon, reacts to, and ultimately twists Kant's insights in fascinating ways. Think back to the original Copernican revolution. For millennia, humanity believed the Earth was the unmoving center of the universe. The sun, moon, and stars revolved around us. It felt intuitively right, didn't it? Our senses told us so. Then Copernicus, followed by Galileo and Kepler, flipped that script entirely. The Earth, they showed, was just another planet orbiting the sun. This wasn't just a scientific discovery, it was a profound blow to human egocentrism, yet it also opened up a vast new and exhilarating universe. It fundamentally reordered our understanding of our place in the cosmos. Kant performed a revolution of comparable magnitude, but not in astronomy. His revolution was in the realm of knowledge itself, specifically how we come to know anything at all. He shifted the center of knowledge from the external world to the internal structure of the human mind. Just as Copernicus moved the cosmic center from Earth to Sun, Kant moved the epistemic center, the center of how we know from the objects out there to the subject in here, to us. Let's recap the core idea that Kant overturned. Before him, the prevailing wisdom was that our minds were essentially passive recipients. We thought our understanding had to conform to objects. The world existed out there with its inherent properties, and our minds simply had to accurately perceive and represent those properties. If our knowledge was true, it meant our mind had successfully bent itself to match the independent reality of the object. Our job was to be good, faithful mirrors. Kant flipped this on its head. He argued that it's the objects as we experience them that must conform to the structure of our minds to be known. This doesn't mean we invent reality out of thin air. There's certainly an external world, what Kant called the thing in itself, but we can never access it directly. Instead, our minds possess innate categories like causality, time, space, unity, which act like fundamental lenses or frameworks. Everything we perceive, every sensation, every impression is processed and organized through these categories. We don't just see a raw thing, we see a thing in space, a thing in time, a thing that causes another thing. Our minds are not passive, they are actively shaping and structuring the very reality we experience. The impact of this view is monumental. It gives human beings a fundamentally central, active, and creative role in the universe we experience. We're not just spectators in a pre-written play, we're, in a very real sense, the directors and even, to a degree, the playwrights of our own phenomenal world, the world of appearances. Our consciousness isn't just absorbing, it's constructing. This isn't solipsism, it's understanding the inherent active nature of our cognitive faculties. It highlights that the world, as it appears to us, is always already filtered and organized by the very nature of human cognition. Now, at first glance, this might sound like a prison. Are we forever trapped behind the bars of our own subjective minds, unable to ever truly know reality as it is? Kant would say yes. In a sense, we can only know reality as it appears to us . But this isn't a limitation to be lamented, it's an incredible revelation. Think of it not as a prison, but as a creative studio. Our minds aren't just receiving, they are the architects of our own experience. They provide the fundamental blueprints, the tools, the conceptual frameworks that make any coherent experience possible. We are the active designers of the world for us. We impose order, meaning, and structure upon the raw sensory data. This understanding lays crucial groundwork for Nietzsche, who, while diverging from Kant in many ways, would similarly emphasize the active, creative, and interpretive power of the human subject in shaping not just our perception of truth, but also our values and morals. Welcome back to our journey through Friedrich Nietzsche's The Genealogy of Morals. We've delved into the complex origins of our moral concepts, peeled back the layers of history, and explored the psychological undercurrents that shape our values. But now, as we arrive at Chapter 7, it's time to bridge the gap, to take these profound, often challenging, 40-year-old ideas and ask, how can they genuinely improve your life today? In the hustle and bustle of the 21st century, this isn't about becoming a nihilist or adopting a specific dogma. It's about leveraging a deeper understanding of human nature and perception to navigate your personal world with greater clarity, agency, and peace. Nietzsche, in his own way, offered tools for self-overcoming, and many of his insights, particularly concerning the subjective nature of truth and interpretation, the revolutionary concept that our mind actively company creates our reality, resonate powerfully with modern psychology and self-improvement strategies. Let's explore 4 key ways this powerful idea can empower you. One of the most immediate and impactful takeaways from a Nietzschean perspective, especially concerning his implicit ideas about perspectivism, is the profound cultivation of intellectual humility. If we truly grasp that our understanding of the world, our so-called facts and truths, are deeply colored by our unique experiences, desires, physiological makeup, and historical inheritance, if our mind is actively company creating our reality, rather than merely reflecting a single objective one, then it becomes impossible to cling dogmatically to the notion that our perspective is the only true one, or even the most superior. This isn't an invitation to a debilitating relativism where nothing matters, but rather a profound recognition of the inherent limits of our own viewpoint and the validity of others. Practically, this translates into an enormous reduction in conflict. When you approach a disagreement, whether it's a heated family argument, a contentious workplace debate, or a polarizing social media exchange, understanding that the other person is also operating from their own valid, albeit different, company-created reality profoundly changes the dynamic. It fosters a genuine capacity for better listening, not just waiting for your turn to speak, but truly attempting to understand. It allows you to consider alternative viewpoints with curiosity rather than merely attempting to refute them, dissolving the rigid walls that often separate us from them. This perspective promotes genuine dialogue over dogmatic pronouncements and understanding over insistent conviction. Imagine the internal peace that comes from letting go of the exhausting need to always be right and instead embracing the richness and complexity inherent in multiple, diverse perspectives. Nietzsche's radical critique of traditional metaphysics and the pursuit of absolute, universal truths, while sometimes interpreted as destructive, actually offers a profound liberation from a common, insidious source of modern anxiety, the endless, often fruitless, pursuit of answers to fundamentally unanswerable questions. For centuries, philosophers, theologians, and even scientists have grappled with ultimate realities, the definitive meaning of life in a cosmic sense, or the existence of objective, immutable moral laws. While these grand questions can certainly be intellectually stimulating and inspire awe, when they consume our mental energy without yielding tangible, actionable results within our lived experience, they can become a source of profound existential dread, paralysis, and a sense of meaninglessness. Nietzsche implicitly encourages us to stop wasting precious mental resources on what is ultimately unknowable or beyond our human capacity for definitive, universally agreed upon understanding. Instead, he invites us to redirect that energy to focus on the world of immediate experience, the terra firma of the here and now, where we can make a difference. Where we can interpret, evaluate, act, and create meaning. This isn't about ignoring big questions entirely, but about recognizing their inherent limits and channeling our precious energy towards what is demonstrably within our sphere of influence. Let go of the need for absolute certainty in cosmic matters and redirect that invigorated energy into shaping your immediate reality, embracing the inherent challenges and unique opportunities of this life, this experience, with vigor, creativity, and purpose. This profound shift in focus can be incredibly empowering and a significant source of anxiety reduction. Perhaps one of the most directly applicable and transformative insights from Nietzsche, deeply resonant with the idea that our mind actively creates our reality, is the imperative to take conscious ownership of your interpretations. If there isn't one objective, pre-given meaning to events, if reality is not simply presented to us, but constructed by us, then the meaning you ascribe to any given situation, event, or interaction, in large part, your creation. This isn't merely an abstract philosophical point, it's the very bedrock of modern therapeutic approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. CBT posits that our feelings and subsequent behaviors are heavily influenced not by external events themselves, but by our internal interpretations and thoughts about those events. Nietzsche, long before the advent of modern psychology, understood this profound power of framing. Consider this: if you frame a personal setback as an insurmountable, definitive failure, you will inevitably feel despair, hopelessness, and paralysis. If, however, you consciously choose to frame that same setback as a valuable learning opportunity, a necessary pivot point, or a chance to test your resilience, your emotional and behavioral response will be entirely, dramatically different. Recognizing that you have inherent agency over your interpretations means you possess immense power over how you frame your experiences, your past narratives, and even your future aspirations. It empowers you to actively challenge limiting beliefs, consciously reframe negative situations, and deliberately choose perspectives that serve your growth, well-being, and overall flourishing. This is precisely where Nietzsche's powerful call for self-overcoming finds its most practical daily application: the active, conscious, and deliberate shaping of your internal narrative, turning philosophical insight into personal empowerment. Finally, extending the profound understanding that your mind actively creates your reality leads directly to a vastly expanded and more profound capacity for genuine empathy. If your reality is a subjective, dynamically constructed experience, deeply informed by your unique history and perspective, then it stands to reason that everyone else's reality is, too. Other people quite literally experience a different reality, not just in terms of external circumstances they encounter, but in the very way their minds build, organize, and interpret the world from their singular, unique perspective, their own specific genealogy of values and perceptions. Their individual history, their genetics, their personal traumas, their triumphs, their cultural conditioning all contribute to a distinct, intricate framework through which they perceive events, judge values, and even process basic sensory input. When you truly grasp this radical idea, when you internalize that another person's subjective reality is as valid and complex to them as yours is to you, judgments soften and rigid positions become more flexible. It becomes significantly easier to understand why someone might hold a seemingly irrational belief, react in a way you find utterly perplexing, or value something you personally deem insignificant. You begin to realize they aren't necessarily wrong in an absolute sense. They are simply operating within a different, equally compelling, company-created world. This powerful insight doesn't mean you have to agree with every perspective, belief, or action, but it absolutely fosters a deeper, more compassionate understanding and allows for bridge building. It encourages genuine curiosity over immediate condemnation and authentic connection over dismissive judgment. It's a clear pathway to richer, more meaningful relationships, more effective and nuanced communication, and ultimately, a more harmonious social existence. So these ancient ideas, these challenging critiques from Nietzsche, are far from being mere academic exercises confined to dusty university halls. They are potent, dynamic tools for profound self-understanding and continuous self-improvement in the modern world. By consciously cultivating intellectual humility, by liberating yourself from the anxiety of endlessly pursuing the unknowable, by taking active, deliberate ownership of your interpretations, and by fostering a more profound, genuine empathy for those around you, you are not simply engaging with abstract philosophy, you are actively shaping a more conscious, empowered, and compassionate way of living. Nietzsche may have meticulously dissected our moral landscape and challenged our fundamental assumptions, but in doing so, he offered us the invaluable opportunity to rebuild and reshape our individual worlds, one informed, intentional interpretation at a time. The philosophical journey continues, and now, armed with these profound insights, you are undoubtedly better equipped to navigate the complex, rich tapestry of your own life. All right, we've wrestled with Nietzsche's formidable critique of morality. Now, let's turn to one of the very architects whose foundations Nietzsche sought to dismantle, Immanuel Kant. While Nietzsche critiqued Kant's moral philosophy, he also implicitly acknowledged Kant's monumental intellectual achievement in understanding how we structure reality. It's this Kantian insight into our cognitive architecture that we can leverage to become more self-aware, discerning, and powerful in our own lives. Welcome to your 7-day Kantian action plan. This isn't about becoming a philosopher overnight. It's a practical, step-by-step guide to integrate Kant's core ideas about perception, reason, and the limits of human knowledge into your daily life, making even abstract philosophy feel tangible and immediately useful. Think of it as a mental workout designed to heighten your awareness of how your mind constructs the world around you. For our first 2 days, we're going to focus on something so fundamental we rarely question it: causality. Kant argued that cause and effect isn't something we observe in the world, but rather a category our minds impose upon sensory experience to make sense of it. We don't see causality, we think it. So, for day 1 and day 2, your mission is to notice causality in action, both externally and internally. When something happens, a car swerves, a friend gets angry, you feel hunger, consciously pause and ask, am I seeing a definite, undeniable connection between two events, or is my mind supplying that story to create coherence? For example, your colleague is quiet, you might conclude they're upset. Stop. Ask, is their quietness definitely causing my feeling of being disliked, or am I just connecting two separate observations through a narrative my mind prefers? The goal isn't to deny connections, but to become aware of when your mind is actively constructing them rather than passively observing. This questioning will reveal the subtle ways your mind orders reality. Moving into day 3 and 4, we'll practice intellectual humility, stemming from Kant's distinction between the noumenal and phenomenal worlds. We only ever experience the phenomenal world reality as it appears to us, filtered through our senses and understanding. We can never know the noumenal world, the thing in itself, truly independent of our perception. This recognition of our limited, phenomenal viewpoint is incredibly liberating, especially in disagreements. It reminds us that our perspective is just that, our perspective. So, for the next 2 days, in any conversation where you disagree, whether it's about politics, a movie, or a shared memory, try consciously incorporating this Kantian humility. Instead of asserting your view as the objective truth, start by saying something like, from my perspective, as I understand it, or the way I see this isn't about weakening your argument, it's acknowledging the phenomenal nature of your knowledge. It allows different phenomenal worlds to coexist and encourages more open, less combative dialogue, shifting focus to a sharing of filtered experiences. Days 5 and 6 bring us to the heart of Kant's critical project, defining the limits of human reason. Just as we only know the phenomenal world, certain questions lie beyond our understanding, those that concern the noumenal realm. Think of what is the meaning of life? Does God exist? What happens after death? Our minds are drawn to these, but Kant would argue our faculties aren't equipped to answer them definitively. Your task for these 2 days is to identify one unknowable question you worry about, perhaps a metaphysical or existential query. Once identified, consciously label it, internally or out loud, as noumenal. Then, make a deliberate effort to set it aside for the day. This isn't about ignoring important questions forever, but about practicing the discipline of recognizing what lies beyond the legitimate scope of your intellect for practical purposes. It's an act of intellectual boundary setting, freeing up mental energy from wrestling with the ungraspable, allowing you to focus on what you can know and influence in your phenomenal world. This might feel challenging, but it's an exercise in intellectual freedom. Finally, we arrive at day 7, a day for synthesis and reflection. After a week of actively observing your mind's constructive role, it's time to consolidate those insights. Kant showed us our minds are not passive receivers but active constructors, providing the framework categories like causality, space, and time through which we experience reality. Beyond these universal categories are individual experiences, moods, biases, And predispositions also act as unique filters. For your final task, set aside 5 minutes at the end of day 7 for journaling. Reflect on the day's events, big or small. Ask yourself, how did my personal mood today, tired, excited, stressed, or joyful, shape my perception of events? How did my existing biases, expectations, or recent experiences act as filters, influencing what I noticed, interpreted, and reacted to? For example, if in a bad mood, did minor inconveniences seem catastrophic? If excited, did challenges appear as opportunities? This journaling will highlight the deeply personal, constructive nature of your phenomenal reality. You'll gain profound appreciation for the active role you play in creating your own experience, an insight offering incredible power and self-awareness far beyond any philosophical debate. By engaging with this 7-day Kantian action plan, you're not just learning about Kant, you're doing Kant. You're transforming abstract philosophical concepts into lived experiences. This practice won't make you a philosophical purist, but it will make you a more discerning observer of your own mind, a more humble participant in conversations, and a more focused individual, aware of both the incredible capabilities and the inherent limitations of human understanding. Take these lessons forward, and remember, the journey of understanding how you understand is a truly powerful one. And now, for our Kant in 60 seconds rapid-fire summary, let's distill the core, revolutionary insights from Kant that set the crucial stage for understanding Nietzsche's radical project. If you remember nothing else from our exploration, these 3 pivotal takeaways are what you absolutely need to retain for maximum clarity and future reflection. First, and perhaps most fundamentally, Kant challenged centuries of philosophical thought by revealing that your mind is not a passive mirror or a blank slate, merely reflecting or recording an objective external reality. Instead, it is an extraordinarily active, even creative force. It comes pre-equipped with universal, built-in rules or categories, fundamental structures like space, time, and cause and effect that don't exist out there independently, but are inherent frameworks through which your mind actively structures and synthesizes all sensory input. You don't just experience reality, your mind actively constructs the coherent, ordered world that you perceive, providing the very architecture within which all human experience becomes possible and intelligible. Second, arising directly from this active role of the mind, Kant established a critical and enduring distinction. There exists an absolute, hard boundary between the world as you can experience, and know it what he termed the phenomena and reality as it is in itself, independent of any observer or mental structuring, which he called the noumena. This means you can only ever genuinely access and understand things as they appear to you filtered, organized, and shaped by your mind's inherent apparatus. The ultimate raw, unmediated essence of reality, the thing in itself beyond all our conceptual categories and sensory experience, remains forever unknowable, an unreachable frontier for human cognition. We can conceptualize its existence, but we can never truly grasp its true nature. Finally, and this is where Kant's philosophy transforms from a limitation into a profound source of empowerment, understanding this inherent boundary and your mind's constructive role isn't a pessimistic concession to ignorance. On the contrary, it's a liberatory realization. Recognizing that your mind is an active participant in shaping your perceived reality grants you a powerful sense of agency over your asterisk interpretations asterisk of the world. It frees you from the naive illusion of having direct, unmediated access to some ultimate, objective truth, fostering a deep and necessary humility about the scope of human knowledge. Simultaneously, it highlights the immense, often underestimated, power of human reason to actively construct a coherent, meaningful, and ethical world, even if that world is ultimately our asterisk mind's construction. This foundational understanding is absolutely crucial for appreciating the revolutionary implications and challenges that Friedrich Nietzsche will later unleash upon the very foundations of Western thought. These three indelible insights: the mind as an active, structuring creator, the impenetrable barrier between phenomena and noumena, and the empowering nature of embracing human cognitive limits, are the bedrock upon which so much of modern philosophy, and particularly Nietzsche's deconstruction, is built. They tear down old certainties and demand a completely new way of thinking about truth, morality, and our place in the cosmos. As we've journeyed through Nietzsche's profound dissection of our moral landscape, I invite you to turn the gaze inward. In the comments below, share one mental rule you notice yourself using all the time to make sense of the world. What unwritten law guides your interpretations, shapes your judgments, or dictates your understanding of good and bad? Let's uncover these often hidden frameworks together. If this deep dive into the genealogy of morals has sparked new insights, challenged your assumptions, or simply helped you see your world a little differently, please consider hitting the like button. Your support means the world, and it helps this practical philosophy reach more curious minds. And, of course, subscribe to join our growing community and ensure you don't miss our next explorations into the great philosophical works. For those eager to continue this intellectual adventure, a deeper dive awaits. You'll find recommended reading, scholarly articles, and additional resources related to Nietzsche and the Genealogy of Morals, all linked conveniently in the description below. Take advantage of these pathways to further your understanding. And looking ahead, our philosophical journey continues to evolve. Next time, we're jumping forward to explore how the existentialists confronted and contended with the profound concept of freedom that thinkers like Kant, in his own way, so powerfully articulated. It's a fascinating and crucial development in understanding selfhood and responsibility, and you won't want to miss that exploration. So, stay tuned.